Welcome to Tibara's Den. My name is Whitney and welcome to another CAS Monday with a bonus speed build. Today we are taking a break from the Zodiac series. We will resume that next week when it kind of changes to the Gemini Zodiac sign. That's May 21st. So I thought, this is kind of a bonus week and we would do something different. So I actually worked in a veterinary clinic for almost a decade. So today I thought it would be fun to create a veterinarian sim and of course do her home. And then on Friday we are doing a speed build for the veterinary clinic itself. So if you're not already, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and of course give this video a like. But yeah, I really enjoyed creating this sim. I thought it was a lot of fun, something I was very familiar with. I did struggle a little bit, I have to say, because obviously I've worked with a lot of different veterinarians, mostly female. I've worked with a couple males. I prefer female sims, so that's kind of why I made the veterinarian a female in the first place here in the sims. But I had like all these conflicting people and veterinarians I've worked with that I was trying to kind of base her style on. In the end, I decided to go more like business formal. There was a couple like older veterinarians I worked with, that female veterinarians that were very like formal. They like to wear like the slacks and nice blouses and things like that. But they also kept their makeup and such very minimal and appropriate. I worked with some veterinarians who are very laid back and casual. Obviously, working with animals, you get very dirty. And then I've worked with veterinarians that really enjoyed makeup and having their nails done and things like that. So there was kind of a bunch of different things that went into this veterinarian. And like you said, in the end, I decided to go more towards the formal look, with minimal makeup, minimal jewelry, but very nice and put together. With a few differences here and there, which you'll see. I do give her some makeup. I actually ended up using like the eyeshadow I give her. I had a hard time, like I was trying to give her some color, but none of it looked right, and so I had a hard time like choosing eyeshadow and kept it very, very neutral. And then her lipstick's very neutral, and then she just wears like a little bit like small earrings and nothing else as far as jewelry goes. And then of course a watch for all her outfits, because obviously veterinarian, you're taking heart rates and such, you need a watch. So for her hairstyle, I ended up going with this one here. Obviously, keep it out of your face. Again, it gets dirty, and then you don't want it getting tangled up, like an animal getting tangled up in your hair or anything like that. Well, actually, surprisingly enough, most of the veterinarians I worked with would leave their hair down, but obviously you need it kind of out of your face at the same time. So that's kind of what we're working with here. Unfortunately, The Sims does not have like a white doctor jacket. I think they do actually for the career for Get to Work, but I don't know how to unlock that. I've never looked it up. I know there's probably a way. So when you're creating a sim, you can access like the Get to Work items and things like that. But regardless, I ended up going with this top here. It was suitable for my needs. It has, the nice blouse, the white jacket that kind of represents the doctor jacket, and it's even something that I could imagine some of the veterinarians I worked with wearing and then putting their white jacket on over the top, but not necessarily doing so. And then of course just a nice pair of slacks and some comfy shoes. I used the cats and dogs shoes in blue to match her top, because I thought that was really, really cute. So now we are on to her formal look. For her formal look, again, I kept it very business formal. I see her wearing this, going to continuing ed conferences and things like that. So I didn't want anything, too extravagant, but at the same time it needed to be appropriate and comfortable. Continuing ed conferences are long. Even as a vet assistant, the veterinarian would send us to conferences to get our continuing ed up too. And so they're long days and you want to be comfortable. And so that's kind of what we're working with here. I give her this top, but I have like a custom content jacket that's an accessory that I was able to put over the top of it. I did it in black, since it's more like of a formal event. And then again, just some nice slacks. The slacks are a little bit looser, like they're not quite as fitted as some of the other looks. But again, you're sitting down a lot. You want something that's a little bit more comfortable. And then I give her some boots to go along with it. And I do give her, like I said, some makeup, and the jewelry I keep very minimal. I thought about doing something a little different for her formal look, but in the end I went back with these earrings here. And then I decided I wanted to go ahead and give her makeup for her everyday look, so I jumped back over. I was trying to find eyeshadow that tied in to the blue of her shirt, but unfortunately all the blue eyeshadow I had was just way too intense, and it's not something I see the sim wearing. Like, I don't see her not wearing color. Like, I could see her wearing like blue eyeshadow and stuff, but I see her, keeping it very subtle, where none of the blue eyeshadows I had worked for that. So in the end, I go, like I said, very, very neutral, kind of with like a brown smoky eye. Just because none of the blues were working for me. And so in the end, I think I go with this eyeshadow here. I do give her a little bit of eyeliner, which again was a struggle because most of them are just way over the top, and just a little bit too much. So that was a little rough. None of the blushes I liked. I didn't like how it looked on her. It was, again, too intense. And then I just found a lipstick that was kind of more neutral, and I struggled to find one that didn't like make her lips look funny. But in the end, we got there. And then this is her formal look. And I wish I had stuck with this eyeshadow here. I think it looked really, really pretty with the top. And since it's more of a formal event, and yes, it's business, but I don't know how to explain my thought process here. But anyway, I thought it was more appropriate to wear this eyeshadow. But again, I was having a lot of trouble finding an eyeliner that I liked. And so I actually ended up going with a neutral eyeshadow too, just because I didn't like how any of the eyeliner looked with this eyeshadow. There's something about every single one that just bugged me. And so yeah, so I ended up going with a neutral, I think the same eyeshadow I used for her everyday look, which was a little bit frustrating, but what are you gonna do? And it's kind of like, it reminds me of like when you have cable and you have so many channels but you can't find anything to watch. That's what it reminds me of, because I have a lot of custom content, eyeshadows plus the in-game stuff, and I still can't find something I want. So that kind of, like I said, is what it makes me think of. But in the end, we found just the basic eyeshadow, and then again kept her lips pretty neutral as well. So now we are on to her athletic look, which very, very basic here. Like, I didn't go for a lot of color or anything like that. I used just like well, you'll see here in a second. I cannot talk today. I can't think. But I just use like a sweater type top here. So this top here in beige, and then I keep the sweats that she already had on, and I just find some beige shoes to match. So I didn't go very extravagant. It's very actually comfortable looking, and I see the sim as in her downtime she would want to be very, very comfortable. So her athletic workout gear is very cozy and comfy, and then her sleepwear is also very cozy and comfy. And so for sleepwear, I did give her glasses. I hate doing that because, of course, the Sims don't take them off when they go to sleep. But I see her as wearing contacts and putting the glasses on when she, gets into her jammies for the night. And then I went with this cute top here, which is super cute, with the animals and the watermelon. Some heart pants that are, again, very cozy. And then, of course, she had to have the bunny slippers since she is an animal lover. So for her party look, I went very, very casual for this. So this is like, in her downtime, getting together with some friends. That's kind of her party. And so I went with just this top with a little jacket over the top of it. And then I kept the pants she had on. I think they looked really cute, especially with this outfit. And then I just give her some boots as well. for this look. So nothing that's too fancy or extravagant. Like I said, in her downtime, she would want to be comfortable and cozy. So that's kind of what I was going for with the sim. And yeah, I really like how her party outfit turned out. Again, just the same earrings that she always wears. Didn't give her any eyeshadow for this look. She just threw on some lipstick. I think she more wears the eyeshadow just to kind of look nice and such, where if she's just hanging out with friends, she's not going to care. For her swim look, I see her being a little bit more modest, so I ended up just going with this top and some shorts instead of like a bikini bottom or anything like that. You know, I've worked with the one veterinarian I worked with was a friend of mine, and so we would go to the beach and she would wear like bikinis, but I just, for this sim, I just see her being a little bit more modest. So that's kind of what we worked with. And then I just did pearl earrings for that instead of the other earrings she has. And now we are on to her hot weather look. And same makeup, which now that I decided what worked, I just stuck with it. And then for her like clothes, I actually went with a button-up shirt for her top. I had one veterinarian I worked with that would do like a polo shirt in the summertime, just because it's hot, you don't always want to wear your jacket. And it had her name and such written on it, and it looked really, really nice. So that's kind of was my inspiration for this look. And so yeah, I just did the button-up collar shirt, but the sleeves are kind of rolled up, this shirt here. And so it's a little bit cooler, but it still has that formal business look to it as well. The pants I went with for like these gray pants here. Again, they're slacks. They're very nice, very businessy, but just kind of a lighter tone for the summertime. And then I used the same shoes I used for her everyday look, just in white to match her shirt. So very, very cute. And then of course you have to add the watch, because always gotta have a watch. And now we are on to her final look, which is her cold weather. For this one, I kind of debated and had to play around. I gave her like a suit and jacket, and then I tried to put one of my sweater accessory custom content pieces on, but it was kind of clipping and it just didn't look right. And I thought about this, but it was just a little bit too more like scholarly looking and you know, restrictive. And so in the end, I actually found a top. It's very similar to her everyday look, but it's a top and it has a sweater, the white sweater, instead of the white jacket, this one here, which I thought was nice and cozy and suitable for the winter. And then again, slacks, and instead of flats, I give her some boots to kind of keep her feet a little bit more warm. So and then of course the same earrings that she's been wearing and the same makeup and everything. So I didn't go stray too far in her looks. Like, they're all very, very similar. But that is my veterinarian sim. We're gonna come create a couple of animals here. I gave her a dog and a cat. I almost forgot, but I was like, no, she has to have animals. So this, I randomized everything. This is Gemma Lou. She is a hairy couch potato and smart. And then we have Cosmo here, which he's very cute. I didn't like any of the names it was giving me, so I kept going and going until I got to Cosmo. And then he's talkative, he's frisky, and he's affectionate. And yeah, they're both very, very cute. Obviously similar in color, which was an accident, but I liked how they turned out. So you can see we are on the lot directly next to the veterinarian clinic lot. And I did that on purpose because I thought, you know, she may be smaller town, and she bought both areas so she could, you know, both lots so she could build a home and then have the veterinary clinic right there for emergencies or anything like that. So she kind of lives where she works. There is kind of a break in the properties, but she's not that far from work. She can walk straight over. So that's what we're working with today. And I knew I wanted 2 rooms because one of the vets I worked with, she had a room dedicated to like her small animals. And so I knew she needed a second room so she could put all the animals in. And I used all the animals from, I think it's My First Pet stuff. So I used Hammy, I used the rat, I used the hedgehog, and what is it, Bulbasaur? I used them all. So, and then that's her office as well. And then, of course, she has her bedroom. And, of course, she has Gemma, and Cosmo. So there's plenty of stuff for both of them. I really struggled with the outside here. This fence I didn't like. And I didn't like how all the fences I was using on the porch, I didn't like how they looked with the yard fence. And so I really, really struggled. And you can see I'm trying so many different things, and I'm just not liking how it's turning out at all. In the end, I ended up changing the yard fence to something that, one, it offered a little bit more privacy. It was a little bit taller, and it's this one here. And then it was a little bit easier to find stuff that worked for the porch that went with this fence. But of course I had trouble finding a gate. I wanted it on the front, not the side. And the house was too far out, so I thought about moving it back in, but I wanted the house the size it was. So in the end, I ended up just moving it over one. So she doesn't really have much of a side yard. It's more of a walkway between the backyard and the front yard there, but it still works really, really nice for what I ended up creating. And so that's kind of what we ended up working with. But now that I got that sorted out, I think I do still change the porch fence. Maybe not. Maybe I ended up using that one. I can't remember for sure. But this is what I ended up with, and I really like how it turned out. So of course I had to put on my cheats because I forgot to, and have to have the dog mailbox. Like that's a given. I obviously debated between the cat mailbox. I'm personally more of a dog person, so that's why I went with the dog mailbox here. But I'm pretty sure I used the cat mailbox for the veterinary clinic, so it gets representation too. And there's plenty of representation of cats in the overall build itself, so you'll see that going through. But that's kind of what we're working with here. So. And I accidentally, inadvertently, without realizing it, I thought yellow would be a very nice neutral color for this sim. And that's actually Gemini's lucky color. And so it kind of ties in with our Gemini Zodiac that we will be doing. And I didn't even mean to. So it's going to be interesting, because obviously I used a lot of yellow in this build. And then I'm going to be using a lot of yellow in the next month. So definitely kind of a funny thing that I didn't even realize until I was starting to work on my Gemini Sims stuff, and I was like, oh, I used yellow for my veterinarian, so maybe my veterinarian's a Gemini, who knows. But you can see I'm just working on the landscape, putting some bushes and then some flowers and grass and such around to kind of make it less boring. But again, I didn't want too much. She has animals, so obviously going overboard isn't necessarily a good thing either with animals, because they kind of get into things. So but this is what we're working with. I actually end up doing a porch back here too, because I ended up doing a doggy door, and it just worked better to have a porch for the doggy door. And then I use the cats and dogs windows. I use a lot of cats and dogs and my first pet stuff. Goodness gracious, in this build. So those two packs definitely really came through, which is nice. It was nice kind of having things that matched and went together. But this is kind of what we're working with here, and I love this house. I think it's really cute and it's very cozy. I'm just really happy with how it turned out overall. And of course, this is where I decide I need the doggy door. I didn't want the small one because Gemma is a bigger dog, and so I had to go with the bigger one and shorten the window. And then I was like, it looks stupid for her to walk directly out onto the stairs, and so that's when I did a little patio back here too. Nothing too big and extravagant back here. Like I said, this yard is mainly for the dogs and the cat, since he's allowed to go out too. And then the front yard is more for her. But some lights, which I use these lights here, I thought they were really cute and kind of went with the overall style I was looking for. And Yeah, just kept it pretty basic. I did a full obstacle course back here, which I was pretty happy. I had enough room to use everything. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to, but in the end, everything fit, which was really, really nice. And of course, I had to put the tunnels as well. She has the toy box, and then I put like a little water bowl up there. That's the one thing that really, really bugs me about the cats and dogs pack is they'll go drink in the toilet, but you can't fill up their bowls with water. Like I wish that was an option for the bowls, is that you can put water in them, because it really really bugs me that you can't. And then they go drink in the toilet, and you have to scold them for drinking in the toilet. Like maybe if they had water in their bowls, they wouldn't go drink out of the toilet, or they drink out of puddles. I was like, it just really, it's like a pet peeve of mine, and it really, really bugs me. So, um, EA, come on, make it an option to put water in the bowls, please. But yeah, anyway, besides that, I get really, every time I play, I have to let it go because it just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But this is her little front area here, so you have a grill, a little cooler, and then just a table. You know, I think her social circle is probably pretty small. I don't see her, having a lot of friends or anything. So any get-togethers are probably pretty intimate. So just a small table and a little grill's perfect. And then of course she's an animal lover, so bird baths everywhere under the tree. And then I put another one up front here, and then I also put the little bird feeders around, which I think would be really really cute. And I do put some wind chimes. I think that's, she would like listening to the wind chimes as she sits out there, maybe. I know I myself kind of get annoyed. Like, I like wind chimes, I think they're pretty, but then they never stop sometimes. Especially I live in New Mexico and it's windy, and it's just like it drives you insane. But she would like the wind chimes, I think, sitting out there and listening to the wind chimes and everything. And I put a gate in between just because, like I said, the back area is more the dog area, and they probably go to the bathroom back there, where that's front area is more for her to hang out. And they're probably welcome up there, but she would prefer them to spend most of their time in the back, where they could go to the bathroom and such, and she doesn't have to deal with that. I know if I had the option, that's what I would do. The dog yard, which they have their own yard, and then we go out and they run around with me, but they have their own yard where they go out to go potty and such. But that's how I would do it. I would have, the dog yard where they go to the bathroom and everything, and then, a little yard where you can relax and play. Especially like if you have kids or anything, that you don't want them playing where the dog goes to the bathroom. So, anyway, this is the little front porch. So again, another seating area. I actually extend that portion where I'm trying to put the seating area out one, just to kind of give me a little bit more space. I didn't want to extend the other part of it because obviously I have the yard there, but I just expand that portion, which you can see here, and I think it looks really really nice, and then it just gives it a little bit more space for the seating areas. And then I see her also kind of enjoying plants somewhat, and so I put plants out here. She probably doesn't have a lot of time for landscaping, but that's maybe a hobby that kind of keeps her mentally sane, is taking care of like potted plants and things like that. So that's kind of what I did out here. And then I also give her an easel. Maybe she's a little bit more creative, and that's again another hobby. It's really really important to have a hobby that's outside of animals when you're working in the veterinary clinic field, just because burnout and compassion fatigue are really really high. Like, you see a lot of animals that are hurt and things like that, and so it's really really important that you have that downtime and the ability, to kind of get away from animals. So you need hobbies that are different. So But this is what we're working. You can see I'm using the same wallpaper that I used in my last Taurus build, and I actually used the flooring that goes along with it. I really like how it looked in this build, and it's just yellow instead of pink. But I really like the flooring and how it ties into the wallpaper. Again, those are custom content pieces, but I think it looks really nice, and it's not too much. Like sometimes when you get matchy, it's a little bit over the top. But in this case, I really didn't feel it was. So I like how it turned out. And then you can see I did closets for the 2 bedrooms. And now we are on to curtains. And again, cats and dogs coming through. I think these curtains are really cute. And just really fitting for the sim, so I ended up using those. I add one more window to the living room because the way it was looking, and I was trying to figure out where I would put my TV, and I just didn't like. And then the struggle with the curtains is real. I hate how they clip in different spots on the different sides of the windows. Like, it drives me insane. But this is our little living room area, and I wanted to use this little corner piece here, but I didn't want a diagonal wall, so I've been trying to do a little bit more creative things and be more creative, and so I use one of the side tables in the back to kind of create like a little shelf there, which I think turned out really cool, and I like how it turned out. And then she has like a little reading area over there, and then I put like the smart speaker over there so she can like listen to music and read a book, or the dogs might lay over there, things like that. And I think it's so cute, and I love how it turned out. So I'm trying to do a little bit or more things like that, instead of just trying to make what they give me work and not being happy with it. Obviously that's very minor, but it's a step in the right direction. So I'm happy with it. And this is where I put the smart speaker, like I said. I can see her just reading a book over there and listening to music, and I think it's a nice cozy little area. And then a cat perch behind here. And I don't know if the cat can actually get on it since the chair's right there, but he has plenty of other cat perches everywhere else, so I'm not all that worried. And in real life, it would work perfectly well to have that there. It's just, in the Sims, obviously, things don't always work. And then the dog bed on the other side, so she has her little spot, and then just a plant right inside the doorway. Of course, the little leash hooks, and she might hang her jacket or something like that there as well. And then the bowls on the other side of the arch. So yeah, just a nice little cozy living room. And now we are on to the kitchen, and I thought the country kitchen stuff worked nicely for the overall vibe and aesthetic I was going with. But I didn't like the refrigerator and the stove. Obviously I wanted the stove on that little half wall piece. And so in the end, I ended up using, Jungle Adventure fridge and stove. And then I used the cabinets from Jungle Adventure as well. That's the only thing I don't like from the country kitchen kit is the cabinets. They bug me so much. Like, I like what they were going for, but I wish they had included normal cabinets and then included those other options on the side, like as shelving and things like that. But that's okay. And then of course she would have to have her coffee and a microwave in case she just needs to heat up something real quick when she's on the run. So but yeah, I think this is really cute, and I like how her kitchen turned out. It is a lot of yellow though. Looking back at it now, it's very yellow, but I like it. Like, I don't know, I think it's happy, and it might be a bit too much, but I do like how it turned out. And so yeah, I do some herbs on the wall. Obviously you gotta be careful with cats, so that's why they're on the wall over here where the cat cannot get to them. And then just some other pieces as well. I think that's a cutting board and a dish towel, which are, again, those are all custom content pieces. I'm just trying to find stuff to kind of decorate. I do the shelf with some like antique pieces again there, and I thought about putting some alcohol, but it just didn't fit the overall aesthetic that I was going for, and so I ended up just doing some plants there as well. Again, kind of out of the way so the cat doesn't get to them, because you know cats, and the one in the doorway is probably fake. In all honesty, like, she keeps her real plants outside where the cat cannot get to them. And then this is another little cat area, so you have another little tower for him to go on. And then that's where I ended up putting the litter box, because I really didn't know where else to put it. There wasn't enough room in the bathroom, and I really didn't want it out in the living room, and so I actually ended up moving it on the other side of the archway, so you're not seeing it directly in the archway there. But just kind of separated from if she has any guests or anything over, but the cat can still easily get to it. And this is her bedroom, which again, really like. Of course, it had to have a dog bed, and so I sacrificed one of the side tables for a dog bed. You know, obviously she's single, so it's her partner doesn't need to have a side table or anything like that. And then I do a couple bowls again for water overnight, and I do, of course, the little cat tower for the cat as well. And then I think I just put a plant in that corner there, again, probably fake because of the cat, so, or at least cat friendly. And then I used like every bit of custom content dog and cat pictures I had, as well as what was offered in the game. Like, every single one gets used here, but you know, that's okay. I apparently don't have as many as I thought I did, which is a little bit frustrating. But now we are on to her little office and animal room, and so she has just like basic desk where she can work from home and things like that. And then I do a bookshelf, of course, for all her like school books, veterinary books and things like that. You know, obviously she's out of school now, but believe me, they still reference all the books all the time, so they still need a lot of books. And then I put all the different animal options in here, which I think are really cute. And then of course you have to have a cat area and then a dog bed as well, so can't forget about them just because it's the small animal room. And so that's kind of what we're working with. I do some clutter now, so I do some boots down by the mirror, and then this cute little pug picture, which I think is cute, some Kleenexes, some more books, and then some treats, and then I put some treats out in the kitchen as well. Treats everywhere. I have treats everywhere in my house. I have treat stations, and then in the bedroom I have some treats for the dogs as well. So just treats everywhere. But I think it turned out really cute. And then we have the dog calendar, and then the fat cat little poster thing. And then I'm just kind of playing around. So I put cats in the hallway, dogs in here, and yeah, I think it turned out really cute. And then a llama. Just cause why not? And finally we are on to the bathroom, which kind of struggled because the window was kind of in an awkward spot, and I didn't really know. It's not a very big bathroom, it's very narrow. So in the end I put this tub and shower combination right there and just moved the window open. And then of course my favorite thing to do when the shower's not facing right is to put a wall, you know, for pipes and such. And then I put the toilet on the other side, and then of course the sink is right next to the door as you walk in. So very tiny but functional, and I think it works. And I actually ended up doing a counter for the sink, which I think, again, nice yellow color and looks really nice in here. Of course you gotta have your toilet paper, your soap, your toothbrush. And I'm so silly sometimes. Like, I struggle to get it, and I have the room, and then I forget to put the camera where it's looking straight down, which makes things so much easier. But that's okay. So yeah, that's her little bathroom. And I do put, I think it's a hedgehog painting in the bathroom as well. Like, I think it just kind of looked empty on the one side by the toilet, and so I ended up putting this hedgehog painting. And I actually use those in the vet clinic, but they're a little bit nicer than the rest of the house, but I figure sometimes you have like a nice piece in the bathroom, especially because you have guests and things in there. And then I decided she would have like a clothesline. And so that's what I give her. I obviously didn't have room in the house for like a washer and dryer. And so I just do the clothesline and everything like that. So this is her home. And yeah, I just really enjoyed how it turned out. It is tiny, it's cozy. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's kind of unique, but let me know what you guys think about it and what you would have done different, or things you liked, everything like that. I love the little animals and they're running on their wheels. But yeah, that's my build. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Like I said, there are a ton of screenshots because I was just having a blast playing with her and the animals. Again, remember to check back on Friday for the speed build of the veterinary clinic, which I'm really excited about. I love how it turned out. And I guess I will see you guys then. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.